when you start getting customers, that's your gold. That's your precious, precious gold. They will, like Sarah was kind of referencing, a lot of people do not take care of their customers, and they just, again, it's almost like the post and pray. They sell and then go away. They don't, like I'm always surprised. I normally have 1 or 2 people on my parties that have heard of Zaya, who have bought from Zaya. I always reach out to them and say, hey, do not buy anything from me, buy from your rep. And you know what they say to me? I don't even know who the rep was. I bought it through a friend. She had a party. I never went to her. I don't know who it was. I don't know who it was. I'm like, what? I'm shocked. I'm like, girl, you'll be on my VIP page. You're going to be part of my family. Unless the person hosting the party becomes a rep, you are going to become my new best friend, right? So just take care of these people, and they will love you, and they will buy from you all the time. You guys are most of those examples. I mean, Andrea, Ashley, Sarah, you are all great customers. Hopefully I made you feel like you're part of my family, because you are, like, you still are. You can still get free stuff from me, right? But we need to love on each other. We need to love on our customers. And so that really takes some follow-up, and it takes some customer love. So the first thing I just want to highlight is that really and truly, this is for potential customers more than your regular customers. 80% of all your sales, when you sell to somebody, it takes about 5 different follow-up calls, okay, or follow-up reach outs, especially when you're presenting the business opportunity. So, or even just selling to them. So let's say you have one of your friends, you know, they love Lulu, they wear it all the time. You reach out to them and say, hey, so this is a great example. One of Sarah and I's friends, Austin Nelson, I reached out to her probably 5 times, and she never bought from me, but she bought from Sarah, and that's fine. I don't care who she bought from, as long as they were part of our family. I was like, yes, but I cannot tell you the number of times I reached out to her, but it took that long. And she finally, I think when Sarah reached out, she's like, oh my gosh, if Sarah's doing this, well, of course I'm going to support you. And in her defense, she did reach out to both of us and say, who do I buy from?
Yes.
And I said, buy from Sarah. So, but it takes that long. So don't just reach out to somebody once about Zaya and think they're going to remember you. Again, think about how your day is and who you hear from. I mean, I don't remember somebody unless they reach out to me a few times. And those people that do reach out to me a few times about their brands and their companies, I pay attention to. I'm like, oh yeah, I wanted to look into this and I totally forgot because I've got 18 million things going on. So 80%, it takes about five follow-up calls, okay? Then 44% of us give up after the first time. So guess what? The majority of people, not the majority, but almost the majority of people aren't even following up. So you're not going to get any business if you don't follow up. So it's really, really important to do that. And this is really sad. It's going to take about, on average, about 8 times, if you don't know that person, to get them to pay attention to you. So you don't want to be a nuisance, and I'll talk about that in a second, but you definitely want to be consistent. You want to do a certain couple of things to be really out there and consistent with people. And then after a while, they'll start paying attention. And I have story after story of how this happens. And then Thursday is the best time to reach out to people because it's close to the weekend, but it's not the weekend yet. They're not like Friday fever, you know, but they're in good moods. They're about to get paid. They typically are just getting through the week. But so that's the best day. Mondays are really tough. Weekends are really tough. Fridays are not so great, but I think it's Thursday, and then I think Friday's the second best day. So that's really reaching out to people you don't know. So then, and then for people you don't know and for people you do know, the best way to keep all of this organized is to have a database. Now, I am fine if you have a database that's handwritten. I think that's totally fine. The only problem with that is it does get a little harder to keep it organized. And I do recommend using the one in our Facebook team page if you can, especially if you're new, because if you start doing it now, you're just going to add to it. And you do not have to use all the tabs in there. You don't have to use all the info, but at least download it, at least start trying. I always tell people use the restock tab if you don't use any at all, but that's going to get you in the habit of following up with people. Because what happens is you'll have your list, like for me, for my potential customer list, it's pretty long. And I'll go through that every month. I don't do it often. I do it every month. And I'll be like, and I list by the last time I talked to the person, and I'll have another reason to reach out to them, right? It might be we have a back to school sale, or it might be there's a new release that they'll like, or whatever it is. You just want to, if you keep track of them in some system, however that works for you, and make sure you, some people use index cards and they have them by certain month. So that's easy. So you can put all your, you know, you talk to this person and you put them in front of your index cards for whatever day you're going to follow. So create a database, get organized, and your way. That's the best thing. Start as soon as you can, and then update that system at least once. What did I put in here? Once I can't read it because y'all's pictures on here. Hold on. Sorry. At least once a week. I try to update mine once a week on Fridays, and that's when I do my thank you notes and everything else. Just you want to keep on top of it because it's really, really easy to quickly be out of that database and not have access to it. Okay, so now we've got the people, right? And we need to keep in touch with them. We've got our list of people organized. We need to keep in touch with them. And there are several things that we can do to do this. The most easiest and the most common that you guys are doing are new releases. So you definitely want to post about new releases on your pages. That's the minimum you want to do. But the next step is if you see an item and you're like, and they're on your potential list for buying or even being a rep, and you see something that you know that person will love, that they wear all the time. So if they're into tie-dye, or if they're into disco, or if they're into the luxe leggings, if you know people, those of us who have luxe leggings, we're like obsessed about them. So if they came out with a new luxe leggings, the drawstring luxe legging, you could let them know. So that, taking that a step further, text that person, message that person, call that person. Like Caroline said, those messages are working really well. The little audio messages are really, really well. And say, hey girl, we got, you know, not say, hey girl, but hey Sarah, we got these new leggings, and I know you'll love because you have them in, you know, 3 other colors. Just wanted to let you know. So that is a great way to get a hold of people and let them know. Another thing that you can do in your back end is you can do a search for anybody who's ever bought anything. You can do a search for anybody who's ever bought a bomber bra. So if a new bomber bra color comes out, you can actually search for all your bomber bra customers. And there's a quick way you can email them all with one email that says, hey, everybody, VIPs, this bomber bra just came out in yellow. You're not going to want to miss it. Here's the link. Zaya does all that for you. So you can easily email all of them. You can email all your customers at once. You can email them segmented. So that's a great way to do it. And restocks are sometimes, or new releases are sometimes a great way to do that. Restocks are another one. Again, refer to your, if you have that database tab and you're keeping up with your restocks, as soon as I have a restock, as soon as a restock appears, I go to that tab immediately and I look and see who wanted it, and I list where I know them from, and then I email them and message them with a link to the product and say, Jill, the you know, the Cobra leggings just restocked. I know you've been waiting 6 months for them. Here's the link. So that often will get a sale. You know, they might not always give you sales, but typically 8 out of 10 times I will sell if I've kept track of them through the restock list. So that's why I say if you don't use that database for anything, use it for the restocks. And then general outreach. So if somebody is responding to you, if somebody responded to your text or your message or whatever, and they said, great, I will check out your website, you want to respond to them within a week or 2. You do not want it to go that long without responding to them. And this happens to me all the time with things. I will be interested in a product and I'll say, yeah, send me your website. And you know what? Most often that person never follows up with me and says, did you go to my website and what do you think? And can I send you any ideas? I rarely get those emails, but I send those emails because if somebody says to me, they're going to check my website out, you better believe I'm going to respond back and say, hey, Julie, it's been a week. You know, I just want to see if you checked out the website. What'd you think? Any questions you have? And typically they say, no, I forgot. I'll do it right now. And if they say that, I'll say, hey, I'll make it easy for you. I'll send you some of my favorites, send me your sizes. And they often will say, sure. You're making them it easier for them. If you don't have the time to do that, just a quick little, again, they followed up with you. They're like, oh yeah, I forgot. Then follow up with them again another week later if you don't hear from them. So keep that dialogue going. And over time, after a while, they will buy from you. Those people will often buy from you. And if they don't, if they say, hey, I don't have the money right now, offer to have a party, or say, no problem, maybe put on my VIP page. I do a lot of giveaways there. Or You know, and if they say, hey, I just lost my job, the first thing I say is, well, would you, you know, want to sell activewear? I lost my business and I'm doing it and I'm making great money. And so again, it just opens up those conversations. So you need to follow up with them. Now, there's always the people that never respond back, never. And so what I do, especially like on Instagram, I have mine organized in folders because you have your messages, and I have mine in primary and general. And general are all my hot leads. How you get them there is if you click on a message, you can flag it, and then you can move it to general, move it over. And so those are my hot leads. So once I try to go do it once a week, where I go through those and see, and those are the people who've said, I'm going to check out your website. Then there are the people on my primary that haven't said anything back, but I can see that they've opened it or they've seen it. And those people I follow up with. And I'll do that again. Remember, it takes about 8 times. I don't harass them, but I do send about 4 or 5 follow-ups to them. It might be a picture of a new release. It might be something, but I do try to follow up with them on that respect, ongoing, just to keep in touch. But the best way to reach those people who are not responding is go down your feed, if this is an Instagram in particular, and go to their page and follow and check out. I'm going to open this up because I can't see you guys real well, but check out their stories so you can quickly see what they're doing. And then if you genuinely love what they're doing, send them a message. Go, I love this, or a heart or something. And that way they're like, oh, who's Angel again? Oh yeah, she's the one who's sending me information about this company, Zaya. And yeah, she's liking my stuff. They'll start, your feed will start going on their feed. I also will sometimes comment or heart their stuff. So just be present in those hot leads. Those are people you've already kind of connected with in some shape or form. You've reached out to them. And if you do that over time, they're going to start engaging back. And then you're going to see that they're following your stuff and they're watching your stuff. And that's when you can have deeper conversations with them. So the key to all this is being consistent. It really is. And I think I said in my guide that I do this like 1 to 2 hours a day. I can't remember how much, where I'm following up with my customers or I'm reaching out to potential customers, because that's your lifeblood, right? So the next thing is your customers, who are, like I said, your bread and butter, and they will continue to buy from you and love you. So the first and most important thing to do is show them love. Like Sarah had talked about some of her things she does, but recognize them as soon as they place an order, no matter if it's the 15th million time they placed an order. Put them on your VIP page or in the party you're in and say, Jill, thanks again so much for buying more stuff. I mean, I had my friend Rachel buy like 3 times for me this weekend, and I posted each time because it's a big deal. She bought a bunch of stuff, and people love to be loved on. They want to be loved. And then you're creating FOMO for all their other friends who are buying from you. So it produces, oh, I should go shopping. Rachel went shopping. She got some cute stuff. So recognizing them there. I always text them and thank them. I text them when their order ships, which you get an email that notifies you. And then once a week, I just did this. I try to do it on Mondays or Fridays. I go through my back end and see who got their product. And I message them and say, hey, I see your Zaya arrived. How'd it fit? A lot of people don't do this. And this is guaranteed. You're going to keep that customer probably for the rest of your life, because you're showing them. Amazon's not doing this. Lululemon's not doing this. Nobody's doing this. But we have the opportunity to do this. We're personal customer shoppers for these people. So reaching out to them, be prepared if they need to do a return. That's always, but again, this one girl, she returned, she bought 3 tanks and a pair of leggings. She didn't like any of the tanks. She has a weird body, whatever. And I was like, no problem, we'll return them if you don't want to try anything out. Because I asked her, I first try to get them to try something else. If they don't, then fine. But I did all that, I did the return for her. I paid for them to be shipped out because it was her first time. And she's like, I will always buy from you. I love the clothes. I'll find stuff that I love. I love the leggings. Thank you. Because you did all this stuff for me, I will always buy from you. And that was so great. So going those little steps really makes a difference. And then the biggest one is send everybody a thank you note. You need to have some cards and a thing of stamps. That's it. People love it. They don't get it, and they really appreciate it. I just do it the first time. The first order, I send a thank you note. If they host a party, I send another one. And I sometimes, if they have a good sized party, I'll send them a little Zaya swag, like a little notepad or something, if their party is like over 1,000 or 2,000. So those things are really, really important for showing people love. If they buy a lot from you in general, definitely send them something, like I said, like a notebook. So even if they don't have a party, like my friend Rachel, I mean, we hang out a good bit, but I'll take her a bottle of wine to her house, or do something really nice for them if they're buying a lot of clothes. If they buy a lot, definitely try to do something. And it doesn't have to be Zaya. One thing I did right when COVID kind of started and we were getting completely shut down is I spent about $50 in Oriental trading, bought a bunch of crap. Sorry, it was wonderful. I know some of you got it and you probably loved it. And it was fun. It was awesome. It was a bag of crap. And Sarah will tell you I'm like great at this. And I know Andrea got this. But I went and delivered it around town and said, this is your COVID survival kit. And I got a new rep because of it. I booked 1 million parties because of it. I had tons of sales because of it. So even like sending people cookies or something, especially those who are buying a lot from you, I think that's really, really nice to do. So something nice and easy. I'm now giving people color streets. So that's, $11 a thing, and it's easy to get and it's easy to order. So those are some easy, and you'll help Andrea if you buy from her color street. So, and then if you haven't heard from a customer in a couple of weeks, go through your database again and check on them. Say, I haven't heard from you in a while. All I say is, we just launched the cutest clothes. What do you need? Like, we just launched some shorts. We got this bra. And they are always like, oh yeah, most of the time they're always like, I needed some stuff. So sometimes they're like, I'm good right now. And I'm always like, that's fine. But I think it's really important to continually reach out to them. So again, if you get that database going and you really stay on top of it, you'll know the last time you talked to these people and you reach out to them and you really can give them some love. I was going to say something else came to my mind really quick, but I think it's just about going above and beyond anything. Oh, I was going to say about parties, booking parties. This is how I book parties the most successful way. I actually don't reach out to a lot of people during my parties. I reach out as soon as they get their clothes. So as soon as they get their clothes and they're like, I love them. First question I ask is, awesome, send me pictures. Send me pictures. I love posting pictures. Or post pictures on my VIP page. People are a little scared about doing that at first, but once you post them yourselves, they're like, oh, I like seeing my face on here. They'll start posting them. And you can offer an incentive too. I know reps have offered incentives, but then when they send you those pictures and they say, I love them, say, girl, let's get you some more free clothes. I'm booking parties out. I would love to do one with you. You are so fun. It's so easy. And I book so many parties just from that. So that's the key, like those little steps. If you just follow up, show them some love, make sure they're happy, and I think in my time doing this, I've only had 2 people who bought from me who did not buy again. One was a diehard Lulu discount girl. And I mean, she just would not try. She was like convinced, whatever. Lulu was the only thing she would wear. And the other one, I think she just was really cheap and she only bought one thing and it was hard to get her to buy anything else. That happened. So, but other than that, people will buy. They might not buy all the time, but they do. So those are my ideas with follow-up. Does anybody have anything they want to share? Nothing? Nope. Good. Well, hopefully that's helped because it helps me. It has helped me for sure. I think it's just taking care of people and loving on people. So, okay. So that's all I have.
Hey,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I was changing a diaper. I was listening, but I was changing a diaper. No, I just wanted to reiterate that I think you're 150% right on all of this. Like the majority of my business is repeat customers, honestly. So it's just so important to reach out to, make sure they know, like when there's stuff. Hey, I even sometimes look at them like, oh my gosh, your stuff just shipped. I can't wait to hear what you think. I'll check back with you in a few days to see what you think. Whatever. And I also do like little things, like I bought like a big pack of like $5 Starbucks gift cards, and from time to time when people are like buying from me, I'll be like, have coffee on me. You know, I'll send them a cute note that says, thank you so much. Have coffee on me. Whatever. But just 100%, you got to love your customers. So I just wanted to say I agree with what you're doing and what you're saying.
I agree. Like little things like that go such a long way. And they will now I'm not worried about my sales, right? I'm not worried about, and then your best customers, guess what? They become your reps. Most everyone here is that situation. So that's the beautiful thing. You want to build your customers, start getting the sales. It'll start being consistent. Get them in your the VIP page is like that golden nugget too. It's like golden nugget. Love on them, love on them. Be active, be consistent, and then those people will start being interested in the business side as well. So